let's take some time to recap our rules that we've learned so far using our old A over B and C over D. When we do multiplication, A over B times C over D, we draw the line, and it's always bottom times bottom, under top times top. Bottom times bottom is B times D. Remember, B times D, we can always rewrite that as BD. Okay, top times top, A times C is AC. Right, so far, so good. Now, what if we want to divide A over B divided by C over D? Okay, well, there's not really a lot to do that's much tougher. If you remember, we take our A over B, we change the divided by sign into a multiplication sign. We choose the second term and we reciprocate it. We turn it, we flip it. The numerator becomes the denominator, and this is going to become a D over C. And now we can solve it exactly the same as we did for multiplication. So top times top over bottom times bottom, B times C, which is BC. They're in alphabetical order, so that's how that's done. Okay, A plus B, A over B plus C over D. Let's just copy this down so I can give myself a bit of space. And remember, A, B, C and D are just any numbers. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put the fraction sign. And so first thing is bottom to bottom, and that's going to be times. So B times D is BD, and then it's bottom to top, we multiply, so D times A, and I'm going to put it in alphabetical order. B times C, and the plus comes over. Okay, so our end result is going to be AD plus BC all over BD. Now, it's exactly the same thing when we subtract. So when we added, we got that. Okay, so bottom times bottom, BD, bottom to top, AD, bottom to top, B times C, and the minus comes over, and that's that. And we're done with that one. If you notice, the only difference between this one one that we did just before. The only difference is that's got an addition sign, that's subtracting. That's the only difference. Then we had this odd little law that's going to help us a lot. If A over B, remember A, B, C and D are just any numbers in this case. How could we rewrite that? Well, we could bring the B over from the left hand side over to the right hand side, and to do that it's going to cross the equal sign and become a 1. So that's going to go. Okay, and our answer, A over 1, which is just A, is going to be equal to BC over D. Remember, just because the B is cancelled out there doesn't mean nothing exists in its place. A 1 exists in its place. And remember, any number divided by 1 is just that number. So 4 divided by 1 is 4. Let's take another one in that pattern. AB equals CD, and say we wanted to bring the C into the other side. Well, we can bring it down by cross multiplying. When we do that, a 1 has to replace it. So we're left with A over B times C equals, now it's not D, even though D is the only original number that we have there, it's 1 over D. Extra points again. Let me get rid of whatever that mark is. Extra points if you can think, well, I want to find an answer D equals something or other, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip sides there. I'm going to make a point. A over BC is the same as 1 over D. If we change the left to the right, it still doesn't matter. A over D must equal, notice how these are the same. This phrase here is exactly the same as this phrase here. We've just, whatever was on the left hand side is also on the right hand side. They all work. And let's change that too, so we can see that it's clearly a D. Well, say we want to solve for D. Remember what we could do. If A over B equals C over D, then B over A must also equal D over C, as long as A and C are not equal to 0. So D, we reciprocate the first term. D must be equal to BC over A. Slightly more advanced, but I hope you see the logic there.